You're stuck at home in quarantine. 5 o'clock. Why not have a drink with me?
Good afternoon. Happy Monday to you. Whew. Hope you had a good Monday. Tom Kelly in the chat. How you doing, Dad? What is new? How's life? Hope your week got off to a good start. I did some work today and also was lucky enough to have the opportunity to do a little bit of catch up on The Last Dance. So I watched episode 7 and 8, part 7 and 8 of the documentary series on the Bulls. I guess they were both aired on ESPN last night. Continues to be great. Love it. Love it. Love the show. It's great. I'm going to be sad to see it end, but we get 2 more episodes at the end of next week. Dad, don't know if you are caught up yet, but they were another 2 really solid, really good episodes that I think you will enjoy very much. Also really exciting, we got a lot of interesting packages today, and the first thing I'm really excited about is I ordered some specialty Amaro from this Amaro distiller maker in Washington, D.C. named Don Ciccio I Figli. And basically they are this like family that immigrated from Italy and opened up this Amaro production distillery. I don't know if it's a distillery or what it is. We'll call it a distillery. I don't think that they're distilling their own base spirits. So maybe it's not a distillery. But anyway, they've got a good reputation online, and I'm able to order, and they deliver to Massachusetts, and so it came in today, and it's really cool. I was able to get this, it's like a sampler 3-pack of small bottles of 3 different Amari. So you have the Tonico Ferro China, which is, it says traditional bitter liqueur. You have the Amaro della Sirene, which I think is their sort of flagship Amaro. And then a Don Fernet, which is a variation of one of their Fernets. So really excited to try these. I think it's really cool that they make it in this little sampler pack where you get I think they are, is it like 350 ml, 375 milliliters in each. And then I also got this Donna Rosa Rabarbaro, which I think is a predominantly rhubarb bittered Amaro. And so there is a long tradition of using rhubarb. And there's some really good Amaros that use rhubarb as a main bittering agent. And so I'm really excited about this one too. So it's cool. A lot of their recipes are these like old recipes that their family had when they were making it in Italy. And then some of their recipes are these new creations that they're making today. And so really excited to try these and break these open. Maybe later in the week we'll spend some time on there. And 99 times out of 100, that would be the best mail that I would ever receive. It'd be just like the greatest thing. I'd be so excited about it. There's very few things in my mind that can top getting some, really good small batch Amaro from a well-reputed Amaro producer hundreds of miles away. But I got another package today, actually 3. So the second thing that I got was as part of Teacher Appreciation Week. My school sent me a nice pair of Roxbury Prep sweatpants, which I feel like is fitting for stay-at-home and quarantine work. So I think they hit the nail on the head with that one, and excited to sport my Roxbury Prep sweatpants as I lounge around the house. So that was thing number 2 that I received in the mail today. Like I said, a red letter day for the mail today. But number 3 was the real highlight that made my day, made my week, made my month, which was a package that I knew was coming but didn't know all the contents of, from my great friend Keith Nichols from the San Francisco Bay Area. And so there are two things in this package, both of which I'm very excited about. I'll build up to the most exciting part. So the first thing that I got is this package of AJ's Montana Bananas beef jerky, which is apparently the best beef jerky he has ever had. It's the original peppered beef jerky, traditional thicker cut, which is apparently very, very important. So he sent me a sampler pack. Keith has been talking up this jerky for months. So much so that I see Megan is in the chat. Hello, Megan. Megan's husband ended up getting a big shipment of it, and he's addicted to it, and Megan has to ration the jerky that he is getting each day, otherwise he'll just eat it all and eat it too quickly. And so I almost like, all right, this jerky sounds pretty good. I like jerky. I don't like to normally buy jerky on my day-to-day shopping trips, but I like jerky. Maybe I'll check it out. And indeed, you can just get it shipped to you if you don't have it in stores. But if you want to order it from their website, they have like a minimum order of you have to order 13 bags of jerky. And so you end up spending over $100 of jerky, as Megan is attesting to in the chat right now, over $200 at this point of jerky in the Berkheimer household. So hats off to Megan and Chris for making that kind of jerky investment. And so that's why I was hesitant to pull the trigger on the jerky, because I'm not sure that I'm ready to, even if it's really good jerky, I'm not sure I'm ready to, because I have to buy 13 bags of it at a time, spend over $100 on jerky. But anyway, as part of, I don't know if it's an effort to convince me or just to let me know what I'm missing, Keith sent me a bag of the jerky, so I'm really excited to try this. And it seems to be a pretty small operation, because I went on the website, and it's, you see again, it's AJ's Montana Bananas. AJ's Montana Bananas. And this guy, AJ, made the jerky, and he just like has his cell phone on the website, so you can call him up and get some jerky. Maybe I'll complain about having to buy such a big order at any given time. So that's the jerky. I would have been very excited to just get this jerky. This would be a great package. But Keith really outdid himself and added a second surprise thing in the package, which just blew me away. I'm so excited about it. It was so kind of him. And what it is this book, which is Trader Vic's Book of Food and Drink. And it seems to be, it's a copyright 1946 book, early edition of Trader Vic's, basically like tiki cocktail recipe book, and there's some food recipes in here too. So cool. I'm just like so excited about this. So Trader Vic is, along with Don the Beachcomber, one of the two founding godfathers of tiki. And this is just such a cool book. So it's very old, you can tell the cover is kind of falling off, but even just the hardbound portion of it has this really cool images on the cover. I love these old school imprinting of the covers that they do. And this is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I'll read his dedication at the beginning of the book, which is, he says, dedicated to those merry souls who make eating and drinking a pleasure, who achieve contentedness long before capacity, and who, whenever they drink, prove able to carry it, enjoy it, and remain gentlemen. So I don't know if that's a reaction to having too many people in his bar who are unable to remain gentlemen and drinking his fine cocktails. But anyway, I'm just like so excited for this. I wish Keith were here in the chat so I could thank him in person. I'm sure he'll probably jump in a little bit. There's cool illustrations. There's a whole section about booze. Then it has tall ones, punches and wine cups, hot ones, cocktails and short hoists, which is what he calls like small drinks. The butterflies, whips, and jingles. And then there's some like miscellaneous recipes. There's a whole chapter called Rice and What to Do with It. So this is very cool. Circa 1946. Thank you, Keith, for this incredible gift that I'm excited to dig further into. Put it back into its nice protective plastic sleeve. Megan is asking for a live tasting of the jerky, and so I'm totally down for that. Let's do it. And as I try this jerky, I'm excited to announce that today is Surprise Quarantiki Monday. Surprise Tiki Day. I was reflecting on the cocktails and the drinks I've been making, and I've come to the conclusion that only having tiki drinks on Tuesdays means that only 1/7 of my drinks are going to be tiki drinks, and that's just much too small a proportion of drinks for me. And so I am going to add in extra tiki drinks each week so that there will be at least 2, and I'm excited for today's tiki drink. Okay, it's real peppery jerky. Tastes good, looks good. Very dry. Very dry jerky. There's like no give to it at all. See if I can just... Oh, I can't even tear up a whole piece. It's very tasty. I like the pepper flavor. Very chewy. A real sort of like deep, meaty flavor. A lot of umami. Getting like maybe a little like soy type of undertone, but not too strong. I mean, you're mostly getting the meat and the pepper. Very peppery. All right. Well, this is very good. Very good jerky. Thank you for the jerky, Keith. I would recommend it. Still not sure if I'm ready to commit over $100 to the stuff. But maybe I'll be able to find a local retailer which is selling it here in the Boston area. So, let's talk about today's drink. Today we're going to be making a rum barrel. Now, what is a rum barrel? Basically, the thing about the rum barrel is that every tiki establishment will have their own rum barrel, but there is not a definitive rum barrel recipe. In fact, it's one of the sort of distinguishing, like if you're a tiki establishment, you have your own rum barrel and you stand by it, and you never give away the recipe. Because it's mine, and there's a deep tradition in tiki culture and of tiki bars where you don't let anybody know what the recipes are. And in fact, in the early tiki bars, they wouldn't even tell the bartenders the full recipes, right? There's just all secret recipes for all these drinks. Well, how can the bartender make a drink if he doesn't know all the recipes? Well, the owner, usually Don the Beachcomber or Trader Vic, would pre-mix all these bottles. And so you're saying like, oh, you want to make this drink? You need to use like this rum, and then half an ounce of bottle number 2, 3/4 of an ounce of bottle number 4, and then garnish it with a lime. And so they're using these bottles of mixes that they don't know the recipes to. And so there's a long tiki tradition to this, which was preserved in Martin Cate's definitive modern Tiki Guide Smuggler's Cove Tiki recipe book. And so if you take a look here, he has redacted the Smuggler's Cove Rum Barrel recipe. This is a cocktail recipe book, and they're redacting the recipe for the cocktail. I love it. And anyway, I'm excited to make my own tiki drink tonight. Basically, what you do is the other thing about the rum barrel drinks is that they're notorious for having like 1,000 different ingredients. 1,000's an exaggeration. 12 is not an exaggeration. 12 different ingredients. You've got different rums, different citruses, different sweeteners, different spices. So we're going to get all into it right now. And the way I'm viewing this is with some experimentation. I'm going to base it off of a recreation of an original Don the Beachcomber's rum barrel recipe. But again, the whole goal is to make your own house rum barrel that you like and appreciate it. And so this will be my first draft of it. And then after tasting, I can make adjustments to future versions until I come up with my own version that I like. So let's start with the citrus. I'm going to do 1 ounce each of lime juice, grapefruit juice, orange juice, and pineapple juice. What? This is going to be a big drink. I am excited about it. All right. So here I have my 1 ounce. I'm missing a jigger. My little jigger, which I can't quite find. I'm just going to come over here and see if I can find my other small jigger. Over here it is. Oh, yeah. I'm going to need this in a minute. All right. So I need an ounce of lime juice, so let's start with that. It wasn't warm today, but this morning was kind of nice. It was a little bit clear up here in Boston, and then midday it started drizzling, and then it stopped for a while, and now it's kind of coming down pretty steady outside. Don't know what the weather's like where you all are. All right. So that is 1 ounce of lime juice. Next, I'm gonna take an ounce of orange juice. Should be plenty of orange for that. So, the recipes for these pretty much match your standard recipe for a punch around strong, weak, sour, and sweet. Whoa, there's all that orange juice. Interesting. And so we're working on the sour and a little bit of sweetness too. Oranges are not too easy to juice on this thing. Actually, I saw Ben in the chat. Ben, if you are still there, have you used your crazy awesome juicer anymore? I think I mentioned the other day, Ben got this amazing, huge sort of like hand pull juicer that's like this big and this beautiful orange color, which is so cool. All right. A little bit more. All right. So we've got an ounce of lime juice, an ounce of orange juice. I'm gonna open up a can of pineapple juice and do an ounce of that. Then I'm gonna do an ounce of grapefruit juice. So let me cut up some grapefruit. All these different juices, all freshly squeezed, really gonna be fantastic. Very nice, halfway there. Ben says, oh yeah, it's phenomenal, highly recommended, incredible. So yeah, maybe if Helen lets me and we find a space for it in our kitchen, I can invest in a humongous, awesome, single lever juicer. So cool. Looks like Maggie's in the chat. Maggie, how you doing? Maggie was a very sweet daughter yesterday, stopped by her mom's house with some flowers and a nice gift for Mother's Day. It's really sweet of her. Thankful she gave me and Helen a little bit of credit for it too, even though we didn't do anything. So good to see you, Maggie. I'm just gonna up the grapefruit a little bit. All right, so we've got our 4 juices. That's the messiest part. And let me just clear some space over here. All right. All right, so now let's get to going with some sweeteners and spices. So I am going to sweeten this up with an ounce of, what I have here is, we use half an ounce each of honey syrup and cinnamon syrup. Now the honey syrup is basically just half honey and half hot water that you mix up together. That's common in a lot of drinks. That just makes it a little bit easier to work with. It smells like honey. So half an ounce of the honey syrup, and then half an ounce of the cinnamon syrup, which I made a week or 2 ago from chopped up cinnamon sticks and some hot water. Perfect. So now I'm going to do a small amount of grenadine, my homemade grenadine that I made last week. And this has a really nice deep pomegranate flavor. It's gonna give it some nice color too. So I'm gonna do a teaspoon of my grenadine, a teaspoon of falernum, my velvet falernum here, which is this beautiful aromatic liqueur that's made from limes, ginger, almonds. It's a Barbados thing. So I'm going to use a teaspoon of this. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon of allspice dram, which is this beautiful spicy liqueur. Oh, yeah. Lovely. And next I'm going to do a few dashes of my Herbistura, which is a 50-50 mix of Herb Saint and Angostura. Only I believe instead of Angostura, I made this with beard bitters, which makes it, instead of Herbistura, Herbeard. And it's actually absinthe and beard bitters. But anyway, the absinthe is going to give it just a little bit of that licorice flavor in the background, and then the beard bitter spices are going to do it up there. So I'm going to give 2 good sort of squirts of the Herbistura from my dropper. All right, so we've basically put in everything except the rums at this point. And let's count up what we've used so far to keep track of our ingredients. So we have our 4 juices: lime, orange, pineapple, and grapefruit. Then we have our syrups: honey syrup, cinnamon syrup, grenadine, allspice dram, velvet falernum, and the Herbistura. 10 ingredients so far, and we're going to add to this 3 different types of rum to make the wonderful Rum Barrel. And this is going to be a big drink, right? So don't get any illusions. This is something that's both going to pack a punch, but also you're going to sip on it for a while. And so we are going to put in a total of 3.5 ounces of rum. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start by doing 1 ounce of Smith & Cross, which I've talked about this before. Is this just like delicious, sort of super funky Jamaican rum that I love. So we're going to do 1 ounce of that. Then we're going to do 1.5 ounces of Plantation 5-year rum to give it a little bit extra depth to it. So I used 1 ounce of the funky rum. And now I'm going to round that out with 1.5 ounces of the Plantation 5-year. And last but not least, I'm going to do 1.5 ounces of this dark Jamaican rum, Coruba, which is going to bring to it some like depth, some molasses, and really just like deepen this all up in a delicious way. And so there's a ton going on in this drink, and likely I'm going to end up saying, all right, like, this is a good first draft. I need to up this, down this. But we're trying to get some different characters from different rums. We're trying to balance the sweetener with the sourness and of the fruits, with the strong and the spirit forwardness of the rums. So excited about that. Looks like Keith has finally joined us. Keith, you missed me extolling for minutes and minutes about the amazing package I received from you today. We did a live jerky testing, which is amazing, but I can't thank you enough and can't tell you how much you made my day and week and month from this amazing Trader Vic's book of food and drink. This is so, so cool. I'm so excited about it. So thank you again for that. It's like such a kind thing to do. All right. I am going to grab my Thor's mallet and some ice so that we can get this going over some ice. Let's do it. And grab my ice from the freezer. Lovely. So as I often do with these types of drinks, I'm going to just break up some cubes a little bit first. And then put in a couple of whole cubes also if I can fit them. But look, this is already just a huge amount of liquid that we're doing, that we're working with here. But we're going with it. All right. Lovely. So we broke up some ice. Pour that in. I'm going to squeeze a couple more cubes up top. I think that's all we can fit right now. We're going to be serving this in our False Idol Rum Barrel tiki mug. And let's shake those Monday blues away. Smells good. All right, we're gonna pour into our mug. What's great about this is a nice big mug, can handle it all. And now let's garnish. Because this is a big drink, this deserves a big garnish. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get this ice away, and I'm gonna do a two-part garnish. First is I'm gonna do a nice, got some pineapple chunks over here, and some maraschino cherries here. Then I'm gonna just dig out a cherry and skewer pineapple, cherry, pineapple. Make a nice little pineapple cherry sandwich like that. But before I serve that, what I also want to do is, I think this is deserving of some fire. So I'm going to take half of a spent lime shell, and in it I'm going to put a sugar cube. And in that sugar cube, I'm going to douse it with some lemon oil extract. We're going to float that right on top. And maybe this is going to have to wait for now. All right. And let's see if we can get a little bit of fire. And there we have my very own Rum Barrel cocktail. It's a beautiful thing. Now, of course, you want to put the fire out before you start drinking it. Looks like we've had Helen joining from the other room. Helen, I'm not going to burn the house down. I'm a seasoned professional. I know what I'm doing. And we have this beautiful, beautiful, nice little flame here. Isn't this fun? Whoops, pyrotechnics. Haha, yes! Okay, so this has some nice longevity on it, but I also want to drink this thing. So I'm going to dispose of it with some tongs. I can get to it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that did not work out well. Oh my gosh, that's way too big. All right, just gonna grab it. And now I put my backup garnish on. And let's give this a taste. The Rum Barrel. Cheers, everybody. Oh, so good. I mean, I think the lesson here is it's hard to go wrong with a whole bunch of freshly juiced fruit juices and a variety of delicious rums, along with some interesting spices. I think that it's just like hard to go wrong. This is delicious. What I like about it is that it's not just a rummy fruit drink. You get the spiciness it probably mostly comes from the cinnamon syrup, a little bit from the falernum, and then from the bitters and the herbistura that I used. But it is a really nice sort of spiced flavor to it, with it still being like a somewhat sweet drink. Oh yeah. All right, so this is a dangerous being right here with 3.5 ounces of rum. It goes down a little bit too easy, but I'll try to pace myself. And yeah, as we ease into this rainy Monday night here, I hope that you all are doing well. And another shout out here. Let's wrap up with a short reading from this amazing book that Keith got me, Trader Vic's Book of Food and Drink. And here we go. In his in the preface, I'm going to read the last paragraph of the preface, which is, "Pursuing my interest in the South Seas, I've discovered that those gentle natives, the Polynesians, know how to have fun in simple, unaffected ways. The beauty of their surroundings, the ease with which they acquire food and clothing are not for us who have built up a complicated, war-torn civilization, which is a far cry from island ways. But some of those ways can be injected into our own lives to help us relax and have fun." And that, to me, is the purpose of a good cocktail, is to find a simpler time and to help us relax and to have fun.
It's 5:00. Why not have a drink with me?
Cheers, everybody. Have a great night.